And welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. To my right, your left, is Chad Bryan. You guessed it. I am Eli Moon, and we are back for another week of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. If you're on the East Coast, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock. If you're on the West Coast, it's a little bit after 7 o'clock, which means it's roughly around dinner time, Chad. I don't know what time you eat dinner at the Bryan household, but Papa Moon and I, we had dinner, around 6:30 tonight. So we even had a little early dinner tonight.
That sounds ideal. With kids, sometimes it's a pretty fluid situation. You never really know. Sometimes we eat dinner at 9 o'clock. Sometimes we eat dinner at 4:30. It's like we have a bingo game afterwards or something. You really never know, man. Dinner's just it's a thing that comes after lunch. That's all I can really tell you.
I love it. How are you feeling today, Chad? We had a lot to talk about, but how are you feeling?
Man, I'm having a day. I'm doing okay though. It's been a weird Monday. Some might say I have a little bit of a case of the Mondays, but maybe we'll get to that. I don't know. Maybe that'll come up in the show. I doubt it, but maybe it will. I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Oh, I am doing good. Just been enjoying the World Baseball Classic. That's been going on. I've been enjoying Cavaliers basketball. I'm not enjoying too much of yesterday, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But also just enjoying the vibes. Just enjoying the vibes. Spring is right around the corner here in Cleveland, Ohio. It's been very warm weather-wise, so I'm enjoying that as well. But I'm feeling good. But yes, there is something I had imagined you'd want to get off your chest. We are going to unveil and debut a new segment, and it's been such a crazy Monday for you, Chad, that we don't even have graphics for this segment yet.
No.
This is, however, a new segment here on Inside Edge Primetime, and I'm going to hand the baton off to you. This is called Case of the Mondays. And Chad, would you like to talk about your Monday this week?
Why not, Eli? Listen, Eli, you know what gives me a case of the Mondays?
What's that?
When you go to pick up your kids from school and you're walking down the sidewalk safely, like you're supposed to be, and you've got a whole line of cars that are parked illegally in the fire lane, and one of those cars backs up into you and your son, literally physically hits you. Not in a car. I wasn't in my car. I was walking. And that's fun. And so I get hit by a car in the school parking lot. And then, you would think like, okay, the driver goes, "Hey, my God, are you guys okay?" Nope. Yells at me. Apparently it's my fault. She said she's been in reverse for quite a while, Eli, which wasn't true. I was standing behind the car. There were no reverse lights until I walked and she backed up and hit me. So if you're going to back up in a parking lot, at least look. I mean, you look where you're going, right? Don't you watch? But no, this person didn't watch. And, a little bit of a case of the Mondays, man. Not going to lie. There were things that I wanted to say that I didn't because I have my son right there with me. I'm trying to be a good example for my kids. So I just kind of looked on in shocked awe, I guess, at someone who would literally back into a human being and then yell at that human being. By the way, still illegally parked in a fire lane. By the way, just want to point that out. So that's my case of the Mondays situation I have going on, man. That's I don't know,
Dude.
Trying not to harbor any ill will and any negative feelings about it, but here we are, a case of the Monday.
I'm not gonna lie, I woke up, I had a little bit of stomach pain this morning. I was let's just say I didn't have Taco Bell, but I actually had a very nice home cooked meal.
Okay.
But you would have imagined if I basically ate Taco Bell. It was not.
I was going to say maybe you're pregnant. I don't know.
No.
Congratulations are in order. I'm not sure.
It wasn't good. That's all I'm going to tell you. And then I hear this story from you right now, and I just you had probably a worse case of the Mondays than me, pal. But I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah.
Glad everybody's okay. And I mean, my goodness gracious, man, my goodness.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I didn't expect to get backed into by. Just didn't expect to get hit by a car today. Didn't see that coming. And again, it's not like I'm walking out into traffic playing Frogger. I mean, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's a fire lane. It's made known, by the way, that all pedestrians have the right of way in the parking lot. You're supposed to slow down and watch what you're doing because there are little kids. I mean, this is a situation where you've got preschoolers, kindergartners, right, first grade, second, whatever. Yeah, and you got people that literally drive through, and I'm not going to say the school name, but you've got people that drive through the parking lot like animals. I mean, like literal, like just entitled wild animals. And don't get in their way because listen, they've got a meeting at 4, right? Like get the hell out of the way. They're coming through. So yeah, it's whatever. A little disappointing, but that's my Monday so far, man. It's a couple hours left, so let's make these last 2 hours of Monday okay. At least this 1 hour on the show, we're gonna have fun, right?
We sure are. We got a lot to talk about. And yes, we're going to make your Monday a little bit better here. We're going to make everybody's Monday out there a little bit better. If you're having a case of the Mondays, just like Chad, it's okay. We're going to talk about some fun things here. We have NFL coming up later on. Free agency officially starts Wednesday. The tampering period, however, began today. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And we, of course, are going to talk about our Cavaliers and the state of the NBA. A lot happened here in the last 48 hours for the Cavaliers. Kind of tough to know how to feel about the team right now. But one thing's for certain, there is a Boston Celtics team that's playing really well. What I want to talk about just in this opening segment, though, Chad, right now, is a thing we haven't got too much to talk about here on Primetime yet, which is the World Baseball Classic. Have you got a chance to check out Team USA and some of these other games? I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've got to kind of just sit here and watch it with Papa Moon, and I've enjoyed getting to watch the stars of the USA team, but also the stars of the world, man. It's like, it's really cool seeing like Nolan Arenado, on Team Puerto Rico, and just seeing all these stars. I mean, what have you made of the World Baseball Classic so far?
It's fun, man. Every year we say it doesn't matter. Well, every other year we say it doesn't matter. We're like, this doesn't matter. First of all, it's not the Olympics. It's not this. It's not the World Series. It's not that, whatever. But then I think you can see it on the players' faces, man. Like Team USA the other night when Schwarber hit the home run. I mean, the whole dugout came. It was the 5th inning, man. It wasn't a walk-off, right? The whole dugout came piling out onto the field. Like everybody was excited. And so we can sit here as fans and say it doesn't matter to us. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter. It matters to the players. And, like, these stadiums are full. Guys are playing in front of their home countries sometimes. Like, it's a lot of fun, man. Guys are having a ton of fun with it. Look at Team Brazil.
Yes.
We mentioned it a little bit on the show this weekend. I mean, I don't know if anybody's having more fun than Team Brazil. And they're not going to move on. They're not going to win this thing, right? But they've got a 17-year-old pitcher throwing 97 miles per hour. Kids missing, whatever, like algebra 1, and he's pitched in the World Baseball Classic, and Aaron Judge to like break his bat and roll into a double play. Just really cool. Somebody made a joke the other day, and it couldn't have hit home more. They're like, man, at 17, I was failing algebra 2. Actually, they said that, and taking a bunch of Advil all day to ramp it up to the low to mid 80s. And I'm like, hey, I feel attacked, man. Like I really feel attacked to me. But yeah, it's been fun, man. They got Dante Bichette. Dante Bichette Jr. with the hair, right? Yeah, Ramirez, this kid on the team. Like I don't know that there's any dugout, any clubhouse that would be more fun than Brazil. Like Team Brazil has to be having a blast. But yeah, man, guys, just playing in front of their home countries. The Shohei Ohtani was hitting like 833 after a couple of games with 2 home runs. It's been more fun than we want to admit, I think, as fans.
Yes, I agree.
It maybe it doesn't matter, but it clearly matters.
It does. And you know what? Lucas Ramirez, you brought up Manny's kid. That's been like so fun to watch his story, some of these other journeys just in the World Baseball Classic. And I think it's also been fun for like baseball fans. I think this brings together like just people that enjoy baseball. And it also brings eyes on the sport where, okay, yes, they were talking on the broadcast the other night. I believe they're in Team USA versus Team Brazil. They were talking about the excitement of baseball. Now, I don't know if baseball is at this peak of excitement right now. They're trying to sell it because of the Toronto versus Los Angeles World Series. It was a good World Series. However, baseball has struggled to market their stars. I will give them credit. They do a good job, though, during this World Baseball Classic. And you get to see the Bryce Harpers, the Aaron Judge, Gunnar Henderson. You're seeing all these guys. Paul Skeens took the mound tonight against, Team Mexico here for Team USA. You have Tariq Skubal, who's talking about maybe wanting to pitch some more games in the World Baseball Classic because he's feeling this energy.
He says no. Yeah, he's going back to Detroit now. It's Willie, won't he? This is like Ross and Rachel, man. Did you ever watch that? This feels like,
it's crazy, but it's exciting too. It's super exciting, and seeing Travis Bazzana for Team Australia, the number one overall pick or former, number one overall pick a few years ago for the Cleveland Guardians. It's exciting, man. I'm a baseball guy. I mean, my favorite sport, I'll be honest with you, is basketball. But Papa Moon raised me on baseball, and I really, really appreciate this World Baseball Classic and how much fun it's been for everybody involved that's watching. So,
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Regardless of fans saying whatever, I just want baseball to be here, blah, blah, blah. This is baseball. I mean, these guys care about it.
Oh, we lost Chad here for a moment.
Oh.
We got you back. We lost
you for a second. That's how exciting it is. No, I just said that they're just playing for their countries. It's a lot of fun. Man, let's let people have fun. We don't have to police people's fun, right? Like we don't have to tell them it matters to us. It doesn't matter. Just let them play, man. Let the kids play.
Yes, I'm absolutely with you.
Did you see Team Italy, by the way, has an espresso machine in their dugout? I've been meaning to bring that up to you. That's amazing. It's just amazing.
I love it. You know what? And we get a little bit more of this, obviously. We'll get into the tournament play of it here soon, where they'll get the quarterfinals and all that going on. Yeah. I'm super excited to see just how this all unfolds. Are we gonna get a rematch? Are we gonna see another showdown, like a Shohei Ohtani versus Aaron Judge showdown in the finals? Like, what are we gonna see here? Is Puerto Rico gonna get to the finals? I mean, there's so many exciting variables here. Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, so far it seems like Team USA. I mean, they're up right now 5-2 over Team Mexico. So I mean, it's becoming a little bit of a game. It was 5-0, but this bottom of the six, 5-2 Team USA. They have really taken care of business. They look like the favorites, but can't put anything past Shohei Ohtani. You can't.
No, and I think Team USA has lost maybe 3 or 4 in a row to Team Mexico coming into today, and Team Mexico came in at 2-0 as well. So yeah, there's some sleeper teams that I think everybody say, oh, it's U.S. and Japan, or it's the U.S. and whatever, the Dominican, whatever. There's some sleeper teams that can get through that might surprise you, man. It's been pretty competitive. Some games have been blowout, but I mean, there are more teams that are going to be competitive than I thought, I guess, maybe coming into it. So it's hard to get into the pool play for me sometimes. I haven't watched like a full 9-inning game yet. But I've caught bits and pieces here and there, and everything. It's been really electric. It's been more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, I have enjoyed it. I absolutely have enjoyed it, man. And we'll keep an eye on that going forward. Going to be talking about that obviously all the week here as we have a more World Baseball Classic going on Inside Edge Primetime. If you're new here, thank you for tuning on in here. Give us a follow, Inside Edge Net, on all the socials. And thanks for choosing us as your source of sports, entertainment, mental health, everything in between. We really, really appreciate you. We are here from Monday through Thursday, 10 to 11 p.m. That's Chad Bryan. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime, and we want to thank our sponsor, Alley Rose Fragrances, and remind everybody out there that you can also take advantage of a great deal as a first-time customer with AlleyRoseFragrances.com if you go ahead and use the code InsideEdge20. That's capital I, capital E, InsideEdge20. Get it off your candles, your body mist, 20% off your entire order with spring coming around the corner. Like I said, it's been 70 degrees dang near every day this past weekend in Cleveland. Yeah. It is a time to light a candle, have the windows open, get the scents going. Chad, I know you took advantage of this deal. Tell the people just so much more about Alley Rose Fragrances and your experience with the candles that have been absolutely lighting up the house.
Yeah, they burn forever. They smell amazing. Like I said, it's all natural ingredients, vegan material, cruelty free. That's important. You know what I mean? I think that's important to a lot of people. Made in the U.S. They're hand poured. I mean, everything's handmade right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a very small business. I mean, it's pretty much a one-person business. So. And to tell you, just to give you kind of an idea, we ordered our candles on a Friday night and had them by Tuesday afternoon. So, I mean, that's again, the shipping is that's exemplary. There are huge companies that can't handle their shipping that well. I was really impressed with the turnaround time and just the quality is amazing. I mean, it looks like my office got ransacked. I think my kid stole a candle, but I was going to show you one right now, but I don't have it anymore. I got ransacked. I got robbed.
But that just tells you how great the candles are. I mean, everybody in the house wants to make sure they have their Alley Rose candle.
Exactly. My daughter won't let us burn them because they smell too good. She's like, no, I just want to smell it. So,
yes,
it's a great product. Like I said, the service has I've ordered one. It's excellent. I mean, the turnaround time was amazing, and like I said, the house smells so good. It smells so clean. You can smell that they're natural ingredients. You can smell the lack of chemicals. I know that sounds. Whatever, but it's true. It is what it is.
You're dang right. You're absolutely right. Make sure you use that code InsideEdge20, capital E, InsideEdge20, all one word, at AlleyRoseFragrances.com, our sponsor here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad, we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to let everybody grab some caffeine. On the West Coast, we're going to let you go ahead and finish up dinner. I know it's around that time. I'm going to grab a drink as well, a caffeinated beverage, if you will. You go ahead and get ready yourself, my friend. And when we come back, we're going to talk the NFL, free agency. The tampering period began today. Some big moves in the NFL. I don't know where to start, but I have a feeling we'll know when we come back.
We'll figure it out.
All right, perfect. This is Inside Edge Primetime here. That's Chad Bryan. To my right, your left, I am Eli Moon, and we'll be right back after this. And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, your left, I am Eli Moon. We are back, and we have a lot to talk about. If you just missed us in that opening segment, we talked a little bit about the World Baseball Classic, and yes, Chad has had a heck of a Monday. If you're just joining us, we debuted a new segment, Case of the Mondays. We'll have it every Monday here to start the show. Things that got us a little upset, and we had a pretty unique one here today. But yes, back here, Inside Edge Primetime. Chad Bryan, Eli Moon. We're going to talk the NFL free agency. Chad, I know we were kind of talking a little bit about this earlier today. It's weird that the NFL has the NFL free agency. It starts Wednesday. The tampering period begins today, started today. A lot of moves. We're going to talk about the moves. My first question, however, is not even about any of the moves. Is this odd? Is this whole thing odd? The beginning Wednesday, but we know Monday. It's Monday, and we already know where these guys are going. They just had to sign the documents on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And it's funny because today, I don't know, 11 a.m., I don't know, when did it start? The legal tampering period started. So you're telling me that 11 a.m. is when all these GMs and all these whatever, vice presidents of whatever operation, this is when they started doing their homework and started reaching out to people, because before the legal tampering period, I'm sure, Eli, I am absolutely sure of it, there wouldn't have been any contact before this, right? I mean, that never would have happened. Not before the legal tampering period. Come on. This is so stupid. So just let it wait. Let it marinate. Damn, NFL, you already have so many spots along the calendar year where you're in the news. We get it. Every 3 months, you need everyone to look at you. I understand. I get it. It's good for marketing. But what the hell is a legal tampering period? For some reason, this annoys me so much. And maybe it's because the Browns suck at this stuff, Eli. Maybe it's because they're just awful. But whatever. The Raiders did a thing. They signed did the Raiders sign every available free agent today? Will they on Wednesday? Sorry.
Yeah. They haven't signed anybody yet. I don't know what you're talking about. They have just talked about signing these guys on Wednesday.
Who would sign anybody before Wednesday?
A big day, though, however, for the Raiders. I mean, just big moves. I mean, the other day, we talked about Max Crosby yesterday on Main Event with Robert Zicke and AA Anthony Alford and myself. We had that conversation. I mean, just a lot of big moves via trade. Pittsburgh with Michael Pittman. That's a AFC North move. I mean, both, the Ravens and Steelers getting better within the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
You look at that alone. But then you look at the Raiders. You brought the Raiders up. Tyler Linderbaum and that signing,
right? Yeah.
Yes, the Browns with Todd Monk, and you're hoping that maybe you can get him there, and with the pickup the Browns did have today, obviously getting better at the guard position, at least running wise. And that's what it seems like. Pass block wise, not the greatest grade on Zion Johnson, but run block wise, it seems like there's a lot to like from the former Charger. Yeah. And that's what I was hoping we could maybe get with Linderbaum, a guy who they brought up on one of the ESPN shows about, I believe it was on the Pat McAfee show. They brought up about him being a wrestler. And I'm like, okay, as a former wrestler, somebody who wrestled all the way through high school, you can see the footwork, and I'm like, okay, if you could have added this guy with Zion Johnson on that line, they got Titus Howard, maybe the Browns have some strength here now at the line again. But, okay, we'll take Zion Johnson. They lost Devin Bush today too, at least just looking at the Browns. But they did pick up Quincy Williams. A lot to like, a lot to be upset about, I guess, with Devin Bush, I feel like. But how do you feel about the Browns' day first off?
Listen, it wasn't bad. I don't think we realistically could have expected any big splash moves. I don't think we ever were really in the. I'm sure the Browns kicked the tires on Tyler Linderbaum, right? I mean, I'm sure they looked. They made a phone call or did whatever due diligence. Starting at 11 a.m. I'm sure this morning.
Yes,
started doing that. Not before, not a minute before. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was ever really a thing. It was okay. I mean, Quincy Williams is a good player. You don't love losing Devin Bush. Obviously, he had a really nice year last year. But I think you plug Quincy Williams in and you're okay. Not the biggest guy in the world. I think he's like 5'11", 225, 230. But whatever, he kind of reminds me, I told you before the show, it kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, you watch him play, he's like a little mini Ryan Shazier, right? Like he doesn't always get to the plays that Shazier got to in his prime. But he makes a lot of plays sideline to sideline, and the Browns really could use a guy that can just have some freedom to roam and can do a couple of different things at the linebacker position. I just didn't think again for the money. What was it? 2 years? I don't know. What was it? 60, 14? I don't even know. There are so many numbers dancing. It's like Christmas Eve right now. There's so many numbers. I am like 80 million out, man. I'm just like 3 years, 60 million. Where's my?
Yeah.
By the way, nobody called me on legal tampering day. But whatever.
Well, then you look at Alec Pierce, 114 million. I mean, the largest free agent signing for a wide receiver in NFL history. I mean, these guys are just
tells you
paid.
Everything that you need to know about the Colts and what they're going to do with Daniel Jones. By the way, like they plan on him coming back, right?
Yeah,
they're trying to run him back.
Alec Pierce over Michael Pittman is kind of a shocker to me. I mean, and Pittsburgh got a lot better there. I mean, now they have a very strong wide receiver 1 and 2 there with Metcalf, DK Metcalf, that is, and Michael Pittman. Yeah. They still have Calvin Austin, I believe, there in Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers, but obviously Baltimore we mentioned with Max Crosby getting better there on the defensive end of the ball. But yes, the Browns did at least address the line. They did at least address the line today. They addressed the linebacker position. They made a trade for Titus Howard. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. So they are at least making moves. Does that move today, though, however, with Zion Johnson, does that change? Because we have talked about with Ryan Mosser, you've had more discussions with him on the Sunday Sports Show about the guards here in this draft. Do you think this move today switches the mindset for the Browns that they're going wide receiver for sure at 6? Or do you think it's still up in the air in terms of who's there at 6? Because I've seen a few different mocks where they go linemen. I've seen mocks where they go Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson, whoever you like more at that position. Now, I have also seen the idea where maybe Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana is the pick.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I don't know. Do you think that the Browns are going wide receiver at 6 after the moves they've made to at least address the offensive line so far?
It makes you feel like, there's some depth. I mean, I don't think that. I guess. Well, when you don't have an offensive line, I guess there is no depth. Everybody's going to come in and have a chance to start. But I looked at Zion Johnson as more of a depth guy, and he got some really big money from the Browns. I don't know if they overpaid or not, but listen, you got to have bodies. You have to have people on the offensive line. You can't not going to be able to draft 7 guys, right, to come play offensive line. So you had to add somebody in free agency. And unfortunately, if they got themselves into a situation where they were going to have to overbid, at least it wasn't with a guy like Linderbaum and they didn't pay him, who knows what they would have had. They didn't have that cap room. They didn't have that kind of money. But I thought it was a little bit of an overpay, maybe just a little bit. But he is Johnson's 26. I think he's 26. He's got time to develop, but it feels like they just maybe made a little bit of a reach for potential there. I don't know. Eli, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take like a high school shortstop at this point. I don't know. Nothing would surprise me. I don't know. Do they go receiver? Do they go offensive line? We know about the tackle class. I think you want to get a left tackle. If you're going to take a tackle at the top of the draft in the top 10 picks, it's going to have to be, maybe not a generational guy, but it's going to have to be a guy who comes in and starts and is, makes an impact from day one. It can't be a project. It can't be whatever. It can't be let's draft a right tackle, move him over to the left side, and
yes.
Jedrick Wills this thing, baby. Let's cross our fingers and hope. Let's hope, baby. Let's hope. That's not going to work. Again, it's proven time and time, at least in the Browns' case, to not be anywhere near effective. Again, we talked about DeJuan Jones. We don't know what he's going to be coming back from another injury. He's been good when he's been healthy. He's been pretty good, but unfortunately, he hasn't been on the field very much. And that's, you got to have guys that are going to be there. Oh man, that's a tough question. I listen. I don't mind the Zion Johnson move. I just thought it was maybe a little bit of an overpay. But you're again, no Linderbaum. I don't know. Rasheed Walker still, he's still out there. Again, but that feels like now when you paid that much money to Zion Johnson, what are you going to have to give Rasheed Walker to come here? I just don't know. Who wants to come be a part of this offense? Is there anyone out there in their right mind that unless you have no other option? 31 teams have shut you down, and you go, well, if I'm going to stay in the NFL, I guess it's the Browns. It feels like that's the situation we're in. I don't want to say that, but it kind of feels like that's the situation we're in right now. And sometimes when you're trying to sign out of a position of extreme need, there's going to be a little bit of an overpay there. But you just hope Andrew Berry can use the resources that he has wisely enough to, make this team at least, I don't know, competitive. I say competitive, but listen, we know that it's not going to go well next year. It shouldn't, right? I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic here, but I'm also trying to be realistic. I mean, I expect a 6-11. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah, I mean,
what
if they
happens
could
in
have,
the draft and everything, but
yeah, and not to interrupt, Chad, but if they could have made a move for Michael Pittman, maybe, I mean, at least address the receiver room. But now that's why I'm thinking they have to go receiver at 6, right? Unless there's like a generational talent at lineman. But I just feel like you can't pass up Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson unless you feel like Omar Cooper maybe, or Concepcion, maybe he's the guy. Casey Concepcion, maybe he's the guy. I mean, who knows? But one thing's for certain, they have to address the wide receiver room. And however, while the Browns didn't address too much of the offensive playmakers, the Kansas City Chiefs did. And that leads me to the question, and I think I'm going to answer the question first. What was the biggest NFL move of the day? And Chad, I'm going to answer it right now. It was Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah.
It was the Super Bowl MVP that we talked about literally, last week, at the beginning of the week, about how the Seahawks were not going to bring back Kenneth Walker. They were going to let him walk. And they did, to the team that had a stranglehold, essentially, on the AFC up until this last year, really, where the injury to Mahomes. Yeah. And they slowed down a little bit. But here's the thing. They bring Kenneth Walker in. He is already the best running back they have had in the Patrick Mahomes era.
Yeah.
When healthy, this guy is a top 5 to 7 running back. He's not top 5, at least not on our Tuesday top 5.
Yeah, we can't put him back. Can't say he's top 5. We can't say that.
But
in the brand, we can't do that. Yeah.
But in some people's mind, he's top 5. To us, he's like 6 to 7. Sure. 6, 7. But like Kenneth Walker, he's a great running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's an upgrade immediately over Isaiah Pacheco, and we love Kareem Hunt, but he's an upgrade over Kareem Hunt as well. This is a move that they are one more big move, and they've also addressed the line today. Kansas City is actively getting ready to help their franchise quarterback ease back into a good situation. Travis Kelce comes back. That's another move, obviously, for the Chiefs. They might have one more reunion in them with Tyreek Hill still out there as a free agent. I just think the Kenneth Walker move is the biggest move of the day. I truly think so, Chad. What do you think?
I mean, I guess I was a little surprised by the Raiders going out and getting Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. I mean, there's no doubt they're drafting Fernando Mendoza, right? Like, you go out and get
Ty Simpson.
Well, maybe we can push Taylor. Maybe we can put Taylor. We'll get some 4th round quarterbacks up there. If we can create enough of a smokescreen, maybe we can talk the Raiders into taking a different quarterback. Who I really like? Diego Pavia at 1 overall. Let's not do that. Watch Double A will clip that and put that out there. I'll get roasted on social media. It's whatever. Say what you want. I've heard it all today. Got yelled at for getting almost run over by a car. Who cares? But yeah, I thought that move surprised me. I didn't think he would go to the Raiders. I thought after it was all said and done, he would stay in Baltimore. I knew the Browns would, like I said, probably at least kick the tires, make a phone call. I'm sure his agent, laughed and hung the phone up and said, "No, we're not doing that." And how bad is it? You'd rather go to the Raiders right now? I don't know who's got it work. They have the number 1 overall pick, so I don't know. I mean, it's, by the way, they're obviously clearly taking Fernando Mendoza. That one surprised me. I didn't see Linderbaum to the Raiders. I never would have guessed that. I hadn't seen anyone even forecasting that. If they have, I missed it. I don't know. That one, I guess it didn't shock me. Makes sense. Makes good sense. I just hadn't heard it mentioned, hadn't made the connection yet, and then it came out, and I'm like, wow, the legal tampering period is fun, right? Like, I'm watching the Browns make all these, we got offensive linemen we're trading 5th round picks for, and signing guys, overpaying for guys with like a 90% whatever. Who cares? Who cares about the PFF numbers, really? I got a whole case of the Mondays about everything today, Eli.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whatever.
it's all right.
On the Raiders. Let's move on. That was my biggest.
That's an interesting one, but I'll say another one too is Mike Evans. Mike Evans going to San Francisco, leaving Tampa Bay after what 13 seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
A legend in Tampa Bay, wins a Super Bowl obviously with Tom Brady there, and Chris Godwin, those guys, and
Yeah.
now he is a San Francisco 49er. They are moving on from Brandon Ayuk. That's what all signs have pointed to.
Yeah.
After inking him to a large contract, they are moving forward with Mike Evans, who is obviously a great locker room guy, a great leader,
Yeah.
and somebody that's going to just fit right in. I mean, George Kittle is recovering from injury at the end of last year. So, we'll see when he gets back there. But you're going to have Christian McCaffrey. You're going to have Mike Evans. When George Kittle gets back, you're going to have George Kittle. Brock Purdy is ready to go again. Ricky Pearsall. I mean, you guys, those guys rather have an incredible cast. And Mike Evans might go out and get a second ring before he retires here. And I think this isn't Mike Evans looking for 1,000 yards or a 1,500-yard season. This is Mike Evans looking to contribute, play his part, and maybe get a ring here in the Bay.
Yeah. It proves that Mike Evans was afraid of Kevin Stefanski. He wanted to get out of that. No. Yeah, that makes their offense pretty dangerous. And you got to wonder why he would leave Tampa Bay. I mean, I feel like it's been a very amicable situation there. People are going to say, listen, if you ask Odell Beckham, he's going to say it's Baker Mayfield's fault probably. But I don't know. I was a little surprised by that too. But I think the bigger one for me was just Linderbaum to the Raiders. It just signifies that like the Raiders are trying to win now, right? Like I said, they went out and did. I mean, I felt like they were in on everybody today.
Yes,
which is cool. Which is where you want to be when you've got the cap room and you've got the number one overall pick, and you have a chance to really flip your franchise overnight. You have to strike right while the iron's hot, so to speak. And I just thought in Cleveland here, the iron is very cool. It's sitting on top of the ironing board, but no one plugged it in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'll tell you this: a team that had a rough day today, the Miami Dolphins, but also a team that had an interesting day, the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. They went from giving Tua Tagovailoa the boot. Unfortunately, said, you know what, we're going to eat $99 million in dead cap money.
Oof.
We are going to pay, I believe it's $39 million to Tua Tagovailoa this year. He's going to take a minimum contract to go to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But the Miami Dolphins have their new quarterback, it appears, Malik Willis, the top free agent quarterback in people's minds. Yeah, a lot of people's minds, rather. Yeah. He is off the board. He got to talk to the Pat McAfee show today. I got to hear him talk about, him having that success last year in Green Bay was his first time really being in a system for more than a year, the same system that is. And, he's now getting a chance to potentially be the franchise quarterback again. Do you think this Malik Willis thing works out in Miami?
I don't know. It's like 6 starts would worry me. It doesn't worry me because it's Miami. I don't have any. It's not my money, right? It's not my team. It would worry me, but listen. If you see what you see in Malik Willis, you want to pay him that much money, you think he's the guy, then again, go for it. Nobody's blaming the Dolphins. I mean, it's not like they're trying to sustain some kind of success that they've had over the last few years, right? This isn't like if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I mean, they had 2 of there before. It really wasn't working out for a lot of different reasons. The injuries, whatever, all the concussions. I mean, he was unfortunately, he was a walking concussion. I mean, it just felt like every other week he was, having some concern, a head injury, this and that. Again, not his fault, not, throwing shade at all to Tua, but it just, some situations are what they are. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, 85 or 83, whatever. I think 86% of his throws during the time that he was in there played pretty well. Looked like he was capable of filling in whatever and understood the system. If you can get that kind of production out of him and you can get him up to speed in a year, whatever, half a season, even a season and a half in Miami, it's not like they're not in win now mode. I mean, they're building for the future. If they can build enough around him, sure. I mean, I'm intrigued. I don't know that I would have wanted the Browns to pull the trigger on a move like that because I don't trust the Browns. I mean, I wish we could almost play without a quarterback, honestly. It's gone so poorly over the first 26 seasons trying to pick one or pick 3 or pick 4, whatever. It doesn't matter. The Browns have had maybe 3 good quarterbacks to actually talk about, right? I mean, Tim Couch was a good quarterback. if Tim Couch would have come into the league in a different situation, I think he would have had a much different career. You had Derek Anderson had a decent year. Brandon Weed got stuck under a, Brandon Weeden got stuck weed. Brandon Weeden got stuck under a flag. I just don't know. I'm trying to think of like Weeden was the guy I thought was like had the physical tools to actually do it here. That didn't work out. And then you had Baker Mayfield, who took you to your first playoff game, won a playoff game here, and he was quickly sent packing for a guy who hadn't played meaningful football in 2 years. Who also, by the way, got a record contract at the time from the Browns. That made a lot of sense. It's and the way that they financially set themselves up from that deal has been so positive, by the way. Oh, man.
Yeah, you're having a Monday, pal. Well,
I'll tell you. Whole Monday, bro.
I'll tell you this. The interesting thing about Malik Willis, though, is, and I think the thing that swayed his decision today was Jeff Hafley, the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who was defensive coordinator over the Green Bay Packers last year.
Yeah.
John Eric Sullivan, the general manager of the Miami Dolphins, who was with the Packers last year.
Yep.
And that familiarity. And Malik Willis also credited that on the Pat McAfee show. So it's interesting to say the least. Now,
yeah,
I want to ask you this before we go to break.
Mm-hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa, he signed a minimum contract with the Atlanta Falcons. Kevin Stefanski now has a quarterback room of Michael Penix and Tua Tagovailoa. Two left-handed quarterbacks.
Awesome.
Both struggled to stay on the field. Obviously, health concerns.
Yeah.
I
can't wait until they trade for Dylan Gabriel, too. That's going to be.
What is Kevin Stefanski doing in Atlanta?
The same thing he was doing in Cleveland. I have a theory on this. Kevin Stefanski has decided, as a head coach in the NFL, his philosophy is you don't score because what does that do? Then you got to get the ball back to the other team, right? So he wants an offense that can get about 3.3 yards per play, just get enough to get a first down every 3 plays or so. 10 yards per 3 plays. That's all we're trying to do. Hold on to the football. And we're going to win every game 3-0, 6-3. We don't need to score touchdowns. We don't even need to operate well in the red zone. We don't need to do that. We don't need a quarterback that can throw the ball over 10 yards. I don't even need a quarterback that's healthy. I got Tua. I got Michael Penix. I got walking concussions. I don't know what Kevin Stefanski is doing. You can't convince me. Everyone said, it's Andrew Berry. It's Jimmy Haslam. They keep strapping him with these quarterbacks. It's not Kevin Stefanski's fault. Boy, if he ever had his guy. So he goes to Atlanta. He takes a job, and they've now shoved a quarterback into his face again. Hey, here's Tua. Here's injured Michael Penix. Go do your thing, man. No, he has more control than we're giving him credit for. Or then maybe not giving him, then we're blowing him up for. I'm sorry, Eli. He's picking these guys. These are his picks. For some reason, Kevin Stefanski really likes inept left-handed quarterbacks. I don't understand exactly what it is. I'm not even sure. Unless Tua is the backup plan, he's like the stopgap until Penix is healthy. They're going to go quarterback in the draft. They let Tyler Algier walk.
Yes, that was a big move. That was an absolutely big move to the Cardinals, and I think he's going to have an excellent year this upcoming year.
Algier's a great running back, and this is why I think Kevin Stefanski just doesn't like offense. He just doesn't care. He wants the most boring team in the league. He had it here for a long time. The Browns were hella boring. I can't think of anything more boring than watching the Browns offense for the last two and a half seasons going. Right. I was going to say going up and down the field, but that's not true. Then getting stuck in the middle of the field. I don't know what Kevin Stefanski is doing. I don't understand what his quarterback philosophy is. Someone maybe smarter than me is going to have to explain it to me. Like, please help. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I know we got to go to break. I have one more thing I do want to address before we get out of here. An offense that is going to be exciting. You talk about the Browns maybe not being exciting on offense last year, and we'll see what it looks like this year. Yeah. One team that will look fun with Tyler Shuck at quarterback is Travis Etienne at running back for the New Orleans Saints. And that is the Saints, the team I'm talking about, as he went over there to New Orleans. My last question to you before we put a bow on this segment and send it to break here before we come back here. And again, after the break, we're going to talk Cavaliers to end this edition of Primetime. But I want to ask you this, Chad. Mm-hmm. Travis Etienne, New Orleans, is this his lead back position or is this a committee with Alvin Kamara?
It's going to be a committee. I think Etienne's a little bit overrated. I don't want to say overrated. I just don't think he's really quite what we ever thought he was going to be in the NFL. I don't know that Yeah, no, this is not going to be Travis Etienne goes in there and comes back and dominates the NFL. At least I don't think. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, listen, clip it. I mean, call me. I don't care. When I've been wrong before, I'm going to be wrong again. It's going to happen. But my feeling on Etienne is I feel like this is going to be maybe not an albatross of a signing, so to speak, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of big numbers out of Etienne there. I just really don't. I could be told.
Okay. I disagree. I think he's gonna have a great year. I think this is them starting to move on from Alvin Kamara.
I hope I'm wrong. I don't have any ill will toward the guy. I hope he does.
I get it. I just think Shuck's doing a good job as a quarterback. I think he's got only room to improve. Obviously, he's a little bit older, but he's got room to improve. And now getting Etienne there, you can still have Kamara get some carries, and maybe if he wants to stay in New Orleans and rock out, sure. But I think we might be seeing a Alvin Kamara somewhere else after this upcoming season. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to take a quick pause here. When we do come back from break, we are going to talk about the Cavaliers. They have had a very tumultuous 48 hours. We're going to talk about that, what to make of this team, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, where's Jared Allen? We need him back. We'll talk about all that. Chad and I, we're going to put a bow on this edition of Primetime here. We're going to make sure your Monday ends with a great, great way. And, of course, a reminder that your Tuesday is going to start off with Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. That is right on after us. A little bit of a pause between Chad and I and then Double A. And then, obviously, we'll get you rocking there. Midnight Run with Anthony Alford after Inside Edge Primetime, which returns after this. And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, your left. I am Eli Moon. We are back for one final segment here on this Monday edition of Primetime. And yes, we just talked a lot about the NFL. We talked earlier about the World Baseball Classic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Cavaliers, Chad. They have had a crazy last 48 hours. Today, however, a good day. They did beat the 76ers, 115-101.
What?
But
I don't know what happened there. That was okay. Sounded quick, but I don't know what happened. All right,
the Cavs were like, hey, talk about the good stuff. So they cut your mic. But no, Cavaliers obviously 115-101 over the 76ers. A good win tonight. And obviously I'm happy to see that because they did not look very good. And I talked about that on Main Event yesterday. They are missing Jared Allen still in terms of the production he brings, getting involved early, and how much he's meant as one of the leaders scoring-wise on this team since the All-Star break. We talked about it on, like I said, on Main Event about, what his impact is. And I think at one point he was maybe not as important or integral to the offense. Mm-hmm. But I think at this point he is. I think, and James Harden has found a lot of success with him. And James Harden had one of his better games as a Cavalier tonight, leading the way, really. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Donovan Mitchell, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Evan Mobley with 15 points and 8 rebounds. We're missing Jared Allen, however, and you saw that really in the game against Boston when they lost the 109-98 loss yesterday, because they just could not get anything going in the paint. They were really, really missing the 3-ball. And I'm telling you, I'm just being honest, Sam Merrill's starting to give me the vibes of Ty Jerome when he was missing in the playoffs. Ty Jerome could not find a 3-point basket, and right now Sam Merrill is having a tough time, and we're getting closer to the playoffs. Sam Merrill, 2 points today, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. At times, even though they won by 14 today, and it was a good, strong win, it still looks like at times they are just chucking up threes when there's really not the look there that you should be taking.
Yeah. I think sometimes just trying to force it. I mean, I don't know if you look at Donovan Mitchell was 4 of 11 in this game tonight. I don't know if that's just playing back-to-back games without, maybe not having your legs under you. I think people maybe underestimate how quickly you can lose a little bit of cardio, a little bit of like your legs when you haven't played in a while. When you have some rest. I know it sounds like, well, you're resting, you should be good. But I think sometimes a lot of athletes would tell you, especially a sport like a rhythm sport like basketball, you want to go, you want to play every night. Maybe it's not quite the same as like, baseball, whatever, where your hitters have to stay engaged every day or whatever. But I feel like it's a little like that, right? Like you want to play and you want to build on whatever. Does Donovan Mitchell's he's struggled from the floor? Does that worry you? I mean, do you think like his legs just really aren't there yet? You think it's still the groin injury that's kind of affecting maybe lift on his shots? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you make of it? I mean, 4 of 11 isn't great, right? Like, he has some nights where he doesn't shoot that well sometimes, but I don't know. What do you make of that, Eli?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a ton of time to really get acclimated with James Harden yet, so I think he's just trying to help him get, his shot going, him get aggressive before they get to the postseason. And right now, if the Cavs were to go to the playoffs, it seems like, it's a route that they're going to have to go against Toronto, potentially, and then at that point, Detroit. They won't have to really run into Boston or New York unless it's the Eastern Conference Finals. So I feel like this team's just trying to get moving because they know there is a road where they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a minute. And really, I mean, since 2018. And be in a position where, okay, they are then one step away from the finals. Detroit is a team that they can beat. They've showed they can beat them, and that's without James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. They've showed that they can compete. They didn't win that game, but they were competing and had a chance to win that game. And then they did obviously take care of business, a few days later. Then you look at this Toronto Raptors team beforehand. They can take care of Toronto. So I think the Cavs are just trying to tune up. I think Jared Allen, the moment he gets back, we're going to feel a lot better about this Cavaliers team because he is the glue. He is the guy that's going to get this ball rolling and ultimately dictate the pace. If you can't stop the paint, if you can't stop Jared Allen, then guess what? You're going to continue to bring 2-3 bodies towards the paint. It's going to open up for Sam Merrill to get a little bit of a cleaner look, for Evan Mobley to get his shots, to pick and choose where he's going to shoot the ball. James Harden to go into ISO mode because they're defending the paint, because there's a respect there, and the Cavs haven't had that respect sometimes. And Jared Allen's been notably, saying, in the past, heard in the past saying, hey, the lights were too bright when Mitchell Robinson and the Knicks took care of business and all that. But right now, that's not the case. When Jared Allen's on the floor, you feel a dominant presence. And I feel like getting him back is going to be very, very important for the Cavaliers in this postseason run. So we'll keep an eye on that.
What do you think? Do you think that's just him getting more comfortable, not necessarily with the Cavs or with the offense, whatever, just in his role and what they expect from him offensively? I mean, sometimes I think it's hard for guys to pull the trigger because you've got so many weapons around you, so many guys like Donovan Mitchell. That, he's obviously your scorer. You got James Harden there now, but it feels like bringing James Harden in kind of like unlocked something in Jared Allen that. And I've talked about how good James Harden has been for bigs everywhere he's gone. But it just sort of feels like he understands his role and what the expectations are for him a little bit better than just before Harden got here. I don't know if I'm watching that, if I'm seeing that.
No,
wrong.
you're spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Harden's an excellent passer. I mean, even the pass to Evan Mobley yesterday, despite the loss, was an excellent. I mean, that full court pass to Evan Mobley for the alley-oop dunk. I mean, James Harden's unlocked, yes, that different mode of Jared Allen. And he mentioned that when he first got here, that he was going to really focus on helping Jared Allen, helping Evan Mobley, and unlocking something with these bigs, and he has. And I think that's the thing. So we'll see if they can stay healthy, if they can kind of just continue to gel. And that's our Cavs March check-in. We have a whole March to go, and a lot of basketball to be played still. I mean, not a ton, but enough to still get a feel for this team before the postseason.
Let me ask you really quick, Eli, are we still doing moral victories? Do we feel better about they're 0-3 against the Celtics this season. That's fine. I feel like they've played the Celtics as three completely different teams. But do we feel a little bit better about the fact that despite missing a couple guys here and there, they played better in the second half yesterday? I mean, we doing more victories or no? Or is it too late for that?
Main event, I said, the first half is what doomed them, and I just feel like they did play better, but I mean, you got to win the game.
Take their foot off the gas a little bit, though. Like, the NBA is a game of runs anyway. But did the Cavs really come back and play that stronger, or did the Celtics go?
And Jason Tatum only had 27 minutes. So, I mean, the whole different, you talk about Cavs having a few different looks. Boston's going to have a completely different Jason Tatum by the time we play him again, if it is the Eastern Conference Finals. So,
if they
keep an eye on that.
Far, they're going to have to play better.
Yeah, sure are. All right, Chad. Hey, we've had a heck of a Monday here. I think 2 different Mondays, but we are here. We are rocking out, and we have some final thoughts. What are your final thoughts here on this Monday?
What are my final thoughts? Boy, I'm going to try to keep it I'm going to keep everything copacetic. I'm going to be nice. Listen, I think let's not get too excited or too down. No ups or downs about the Cavs. Let's just let them figure it out. I think that, they're going to, again, I keep saying this. I'm not going to make any excuses for them. I mean, they've got to play better. When guys are out there on the floor, you expect a little more out of Donovan Mitchell than 4 of 11. And this is why I think it's maybe just his legs aren't under him yet. He was 9 of 9 from the free throw line. So it's like the touch isn't gone, right? I just think maybe it's like a little bit of elevation missing. I can throw off your shot a little bit. So maybe that's what it is. His legs just aren't quite there yet from all the rest. They had that little 5-day mini vacation. And then to come back and play a back-to-back right away, maybe that's a little tough, whatever. But let's not get, no knee-jerk reaction with the Cavs right now. Let's just let them figure it out. And we'll watch it unfold the way it unfolds in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. I don't know what kind of situation they're going to be in. I don't know how the regular season is going to go between now and then. I don't know if they're going to be the 3 seed, the 4 seed. They're going to slip down to 5 or whatever. Who knows? Hopefully not. But maybe they'll climb all the way up to 2. I don't know. But again, no knee-jerk reactions. Let's just let them figure themselves out, figure the offense out, figure the rotations out. We'll see how it looks in the playoffs. We'll get to that first-round series, see what they do, and then we can make, I think, a heavy assessment at that point. But, I think the rest of the regular season is just about them sort of, again, it's a journey to find themselves. It's whatever. Very, very introspective. I like that for the Cavs.
I love it. A little soul searching for the Cavaliers.
Maybe I need to do that today, too. I don't know.
Hey, you're doing all right, pal. You're doing all right. My final thoughts are, if you have not watched any World Baseball Classic, we talked about at the beginning of the show, watch some World Baseball Classic. USA is finishing up right here. Mexico and USA, 5-3 USA with one out in the ninth. Mexico with their last at-bats here. So keep an eye on that. I mean, if you're watching that game, while you're watching us, thank you for watching us, obviously. And, watch the end of that. It's going to be a thriller to see this. Just watch some World Baseball Classic. And then, of course, a reminder to follow Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Stay locked in here with us. We have a lot of great programming here. Chad and I are across a few different shows. And then, obviously, we team up here on Primetime Monday through Thursday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then we have Midnight Run with Anthony Alford that'll follow us here at midnight tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. A lot of great programming. So give us a follow, Inside Edge Net, making us your source for sports, entertainment, mental health, and everything in between. And we appreciate you. So that is going to put a bow. We're going to put a bow on this Monday edition of Inside Edge Primetime. We'll be back with you tomorrow. A lot to talk about. More NFL news, I'm sure, and a whole lot more. Chad and I will be with you throughout it all. Again, for Chad Bryan to my right, your left. Though, Chad, I think sometimes it depends what the people are watching it on. Because I think sometimes sometimes you're on the right, and then you're on the right there.
At the bottom, who knows? Listen, I just somewhere on the screen, I'm Eli Moon. You'll say that, and then somewhere else on the screen, over there, under there, up there, catty corner, we don't know. That's Chad Bryan. I think if you just cover every direction, they'll find me, right?
You did a great job, pal. That's Chad Bryan. Somewhere on the screen, I'm Eli Moon.
Over here.
Somewhere else on the screen. This is Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody. Happy Monday.